Good afternoon, and welcome back to where I am now indoors. It's still raining outside, I think. I haven't looked since I've been outside. And what have I got? Well, absolutely nothing. This video's over. Okay, no kidding. So I did mention at the end of my last video that I did have a story, and I still do. It was after I had just left for lunch and saw all the worms on the sidewalk. It reminded me of this. When I went from Edmonton to Campbell River, I had worked the day before, went home. Did my last, I did 2 loads of laundry. The first one I did the day before, and the second one I did Thursday. Got home, threw the load into the wash. Went to the Elks football game. They were playing Calgary that day and lost. Came back home. When I got home, threw the load into the dryer. Got wait that long to go from wash to dryer. Went up, started watching the final episode, the season finale of Hell's Kitchen. I forget what season it was. Yeah, and I just had watching through it. In the meantime, I was starting to fart around on my computer. And I get to the end of the service. The service is over. They're all saying their goodbyes. They go up to the chef Gordon Ramsay's office. So I go down, grab the last of my load. Came back up with it. Started folding and finishing my packing. I can't even remember what season. I think it was season 12. I don't even remember. I think it was season 12. I'll have to double check that. Anyways, there was a win. I can't remember who won, but so it's right about the time I just finished packing is when we found out who won. And I stopped the viewing and I deleted the episode because didn't need to watch it anymore. Try to get a little bit of sleep. Set my alarm for 2 a.m. It should have set for 3 a.m. And I was pretty much dressed. I just had to change shirts. So about 3:30. Yeah, it was about 3:30. Called for a cab to the airport. And I knew about the airport cab because I'd seen some of the taxis floating around. I was like, oh, okay. Good way to put yourself out there. So I called their number, got a cab, and by this time it was raining. Speaking of doing the forecast, but it was raining. So I was like, off to the airport, good sir. And he happened to go by Commonwealth Stadium as we were going there. I was like, interesting. Because get to where he was going, he had to go by Commonwealth and then he hit Jasper Ave until he. I think it's away from there to. I went down Jasper Ave and then I think it went down to I think 100th Street. It just turned left and went down the hill. And it was across the river. And went up to Saskatchewan Drive and hit Gateway Drive, going south onto the Queen Elizabeth Highway, Highway 2, to the airport. So I told him who I was using. It was Air Canada. Got on there, checked in. Off to my gate, which is gate 54. I'm going to sit straight because I'm slouching. It was raining pretty decent by the time I was like, okay, geez, I don't know if we're going to get off on. Okay, and looking at looking at some of the scheduled flights, and there's one postponement. It was to Calgary. Thinking, okay. About 20 after 6 comes around. It's time to board. Okay, shit's getting real. Getting on the plane, first ever flight too. To get on, see him backing up, see him pulling, watching him pulling out, taxiing to the runway. He might let somebody go by, so we get on there. Moment he started those engines up, he's like, okay, it's on. Moment I heard those engines just started cranking up, I knew we were taking off. So we take off, level out, got a little bumpy. I mean, pilot didn't mention there's going to be some turbulence, but yeah, okay. We're taking off, balancing out. Just over an hour later, we're in Vancouver. The only part of Vancouver that, other than from the air, that I saw was the airport. So I found my way to Central Mountain Air, where my connecting flight was. It's about a 20-30 minute flight from Vancouver to Campbell River. Landed in Campbell River, and of course I get meted with got met with. So I suppose your arms are sore now. Of course you had to be. Yeah, that's something I probably would say, but because I'm known for puns. So now your arms are tired. Like, okay, Ross, smartass. Only to find out later that afternoon that more flights had gotten canceled because there's like more whole truckload of worms that crawled onto the runway. She's like, oh god, flights diverted to Calgary, and they had to bust them into the yeep. I'm thinking, grateful that my flight was on schedule. Grateful my flight took off when it did, and yeah, so there you go. So seeing those worms on the sidewalk reminded me of that trip there, and my friends I visited mentioned, oh yeah, the whole crap load of worms that up on the runway. It's like, yikes. So there you go. It's clue time. I just figured I'd look up the Raiders since the Las Vegas Raiders, from the time the Raiders started in Las Vegas in 2020, and how many opponents have been to Vegas since they moved there. And I mean, I'm talking about their first ever visits. See, by the end of the season, I counted 22 teams that have already played or will play their first ever game in Vegas. In Vegas, of course, including Vegas, the Raiders themselves, so that would make 23. So which leaves 9 more opponents left to play their first games there. Now we get to clue time. Forward exchange for 200 was yesterday's clue. Well, it's yesterday's category. Yesterday's clue was, in a proverb, they flock together. Question: what are birds of a feather? There we go. Anyways, I'm fooling around with that. Okay, today's forward exchange for 600. The answer goes as this. This forward phrase is the ordinal equivalent of the early bird gets the worm. No fucking idea. No idea. Yeah, I have no idea. This 4-word phrase is the ordinal equivalent of the early bird gets the worm. No idea. I'm actually trying to think of the answer, and I having an absolute meltdown, or more of a brain cramp than a meltdown. So anyways, I think I've yacked long enough because I'm already over at 10.5 minutes. So in the meantime, and in between time, stay tuned for the next one.